Stephen A. on this one. How confident, or are you confident that the Packers can win in Tampa?
I am, because of the suspension of Mike Evans. I think that Tampa Bay was already compromised offensively. I mean, obviously, Brady and their offense hasn't been stellar. We all know that. You still have Leonard Fournette. You're wondering about the health of Chris Godwin, who had that nasty injury back last season. When he's coming back, Rob Gronkowski retired. Cameron Brate is good, but he's not Gronkowski. And so when you take those things into consideration and you look at the fact that Julio Jones is there and he's still trying to ingratiate himself within that offense and develop that level of chemistry with a Tom Brady, but that's not quite there yet, at least the first two games against Dallas, obviously, and then against New Orleans. When you look at what's transpiring with Tampa right now, offensively, there have been struggles. And so Mike Evans is the one reliable source that you could go to. Because he's a perennial all-pro. He's something special. We know what he brings to the table, and now he's suspended for this game. The fact that he's suspended for this game and you haven't really figured out what you want to do offensively as of yet, I think that when you take that into account and then you look at Green Bay and what Aaron Rodgers is capable of, if there ever was a time that Green Bay could take Tampa, it would be right now. It seems to be ideal. And remember, when they played Tampa last year, Tampa ran roughshod over them. We all saw that transpired. Green Bay is going to be better prepared for that matchup this week. But I think that really it comes down to the absence of Mike Evans. That's why I feel the way that I feel. They still haven't figured things out offensively, and Mike Evans isn't going to be there this week. So I don't like their chances.
Confident the Packers can win. Yes, the Packers can win because of their quarterback. But for some reason, Aaron Rodgers just doesn't seem to love Florida. I don't know what it is, but of the 8 games he's played in Florida, he's 3-5. And the last 2 games in Florida, he's thrown 4 interceptions, which is a lot considering this man just does not throw interceptions throughout his career. That's just not what Aaron Rodgers does. But to Stephen A's point about Mike Evans, I love Mike Evans defending his quarterback. I love Tom Brady even he was getting a little, I don't want to say pissy, but he was getting ticked off against the Saints, and all that energy, all that anger, that frustration helped the Bucs win, but it cost them big time. So not having Mike Evans in this game, I think, is a big deal for the Bucs. But to me, it's week 3. I don't think this is a statement game for either of these teams. Whoever wins, I think both of these teams, we expect them to go deep into the NFC playoff race. But I think the Packers can win, but even if they don't, I don't think that'll make a big statement about what this team is.
Yeah, I think Green Bay cannot win the game.
Cannot?
No, I don't like Green Bay at all. I didn't like Green Bay. Didn't play well in the first game against Minnesota. They didn't do great again. They weren't unbelievable against the Bears either, who are awful, who they always beat. And I just don't like them at all against this Tampa defense down there with these receivers who are not yet blossomed. They're not going to be able to run the ball as effectively against their Tampa defense as they ran against the Bears. Brady will play a little better. You're right, Evans is a big loss. I understand that. But I would not like the Packers in this game. I don't know how anybody could have seen the first 2 games of the year and think Green Bay is going to have a big-time year. They use it as bulletin board material because he tells Pat McAfee, we'll show everybody about how, in fact, everybody thinks we're off. Everybody thought we were off after week 1. Mm-hmm. Last year, week 1, New Orleans killed them down there in Tampa on a neutral site game. And, of course, the Packers ended up going 14-3. I don't like the Packers this week at all. I think it's the first home game for Tampa. I think they'd be annoyed, Tampa, about what happened to Evans. He's appealing anyway. Mm-hmm. I like Tampa to win the game.
Not at all, though? Not at all?
I would take Tampa.
To me, in fairness to Aaron Rodgers, him talking about how this year started off similarly to last year, I think, and at the end of the season, they were in the NFC title game. Right. I just think this is the reason you have an Aaron Rodgers, right? We talk about him as one of the best quarterbacks to ever play the game. So how can that guy not have a shot against Tampa?
Well, he's got a shot.
Defense, yes, that Tampa defense is stout.
No, he is Rodgers. But remember, Stephen A., he did mention last year, they beat San Francisco last year in that 3rd game of the year and that long field goal. That's with Garoppolo. This is Tampa now with Brady. Mm-hmm. I mean, don't compare what you did week 3 last year. Everybody wrote you off against Garoppolo when now in week 3 it's on the road against Tampa.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.